welcome back to the podcast. I'm Rachel, and as some of you may know, I recently got engaged. So, this is going to be a wedding planning episode, and my plan is to do a few of these as wedding planning goes on, just so I can kind of, document it and also give some of you a little insight into what wedding planning is like in case you too are planning a wedding and stressing just as much as I am. So, I got engaged in July. It is currently November, and I would say I just started planning my wedding like last month. First of all, we weren't actually going to have a wedding. Nobody's here. Get over here. My dog is barking. We are home alone. She gets a little bit anxious when nobody's here. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I just started planning my wedding like a month ago because we weren't really sure we were going to have a wedding. And the plan was just kind of to run away somewhere and get married and then come home and have this like big party for everyone to celebrate. Yeah, I've changed my mind. So let's kind of get into what the plan is for today, wedding planning wise, and what we're going to talk about. We're basically going to go into everything that I've done so far and kind of where I'm at feeling wise. And I want to talk about kind of the vibes and the vision we have for our wedding day. Okay, so as far as wedding plans go, we want to have a very small wedding. I'm thinking like 50 to 60 people max. I really want it to just be all of our closest friends and family. We are going to keep the guest list really small and just make it like our closest few friends and family, just because this is just a day for us to kind of celebrate us and the people closest to us. So we're going to keep the guest list short, and I'm going to try to navigate not offending anybody in the process of doing that. Probably easier said than done. I know this is a huge kind of issue that brides have, or I guess people getting married in general, when people get upset when they're not invited. I haven't really had this experience yet because I haven't sent out invitations, so nobody who isn't invited has yet to know that they're not invited. So I'll keep you updated on how that goes after I send out invitations. We're shooting for fall 2025. It is currently fall, almost winter 2024, so that's kind of, we're getting into the nitty gritty, honestly. I honestly thought that I was going to have to wait until 2026, but I think I can pull it together in a year. So I really want this wedding to just be like super intimate and have a really warm vibe with like the color selections and just the feeling of the space in general. But yeah, like I said, vibes, small wedding, fall 2025, cozy, moody atmosphere. I want to do an emerald green color scheme, and this was actually Ryan's idea, and I think it's a really good idea. It's like emerald green is just like a very regal, like almost like a royal feeling. So I really like that vibe. I think that we are going to do a wedding party, but it's going to be a very small wedding party because I don't have that many girlfriends. I know my sister obviously is going to be my maid of honor. I haven't asked her yet, but she's going to be. She's actually helping me plan this wedding a lot, which is awesome. Okay, so we're moving quite quickly on this list, but the next thing I want to talk about is wedding dresses. So I think wedding dresses are ridiculously priced. I think wedding stuff in general is just ridiculously priced, and I really don't feel like spending lots of money on something I'm going to wear for like a couple hours, really. I plan on wearing a separate dress for the ceremony and the reception because during the reception, I'm going to be dancing a lot and moving around a lot, and I want to be comfortable while doing all of this stuff. I don't want to feel restricted in my giant ball gown. So I do want to do a very traditional, clean style. So far, that's what I want. I haven't gone dress shopping yet, so once I do that, I might kind of change that. But as of now, I want to do a very clean, like elegant, simple dress style for the wedding. And then my reception dress will be a little bit more fancy. I'm thinking like a short reception dress with like, I don't know, something really cool. The next category we're going to talk about is venues. So far, we have looked into a lot of venues. I've spent a lot of time on The Knot, the website, looking at venues, and we went on one tour so far. At the time of recording this episode, we went on one venue tour. This venue tour was at a hotel. It was a very, very pretty hotel and was definitely a contender in terms of venues we would select. It was reasonably priced, and obviously because it's a hotel, once the party's over, everyone can just kind of stay there and get a room, and we won't have to worry about getting home, obviously, which is very nice when you think about it, because me and Ryan, we want to have a party, and we're gonna party. So obviously, if other people are going to have the same goal at our wedding, like to party with us, then it would be cool if everyone could just stay in the same spot. So let's keep that in mind as we keep going. We are actually going on a venue tour tomorrow at the time of recording this episode. It is a country club. It is a little bit farther away from our house, so we would have to find a hotel in that area to stay in for the night as well. I'm not going to say where it's at, obviously, but it is a little bit further. I actually have no idea how far away it is. I guess we'll find out tomorrow because my sister's coming on this tour with us and she's probably going to drive. But it is a venue with an outside ceremony area, which is very nice. But the reception would be inside, which is also very nice. It's not a hotel, like I said, so we would have to find somewhere close to stay nearby. And the problem with this area is it's somewhere that I'm not really familiar with, so it's not like I know where all the good hotels are at, if that makes sense. So I think I'd kind of like to stay closer to home if possible, but I'm not going to rule it out as an option just yet because we still have a lot of time to be looking at stuff. So some other options we were looking into for venues are the casino, because, you know, you could party at the casino really late and the casino has a hotel attached to it. So, and I've seen some of the pictures of weddings in the hotels, and I'll actually put some pictures. I'll put pictures up of some of these potential places we were looking at on the screen. That way you guys can kind of get the layout of like what we're kind of thinking. I'm not going to show you pictures of the exact places we're going, but yeah. So some other places we were looking at is some very like vibey venue rooms and hotels. Some of the hotels in Pittsburgh have really cool event spaces inside of them that you can rent out for weddings and kind of smaller events, because we are having a very small wedding. So this is kind of an idea. They're very expensive, but I guess Pittsburgh, you know, the one we were looking at, oh my gosh, this hotel was like, this room was so nice. It's actually where my old job had their Christmas party. The event space is like the vibe we were looking for. Like the walls are very dark painted, and it's just like very kind of cozy feeling, and that's kind of the vibe I was going for. The problem is it's like $150 a person, and there's like a bunch of stuff you have to add on to the price also. And then the last option is a barn. We do live in Western PA, so barn weddings are very common here. If you look up like wedding venues in like southwestern PA, they're like all barns. It's a very PA thing to do. I didn't really think that it was my vibe at first, but we found this one potential barn option, and it's honestly really, really, really pretty. And the woman who owns it does a very good job at planning weddings. I've seen lots of weddings that they've done there, and that is a potential option for us. So, okay, I want to talk about budget. I don't know if I want to say exactly what my budget is. Actually, you know what? Why can't we? I feel like we can. So obviously I'm not trying to spend $1 million on one day. Like, I'm going to be honest, guys, like a wedding is important to me, and I like obviously am excited to marry my best friend and celebrate our wedding, but at the same time I don't think that it's practical to spend a bunch of money on it, especially because there's other things we would rather spend money on together as a couple. Yeah, so I'm thinking 15,000 is going to be our max budget for this wedding. If something drastic happens that I need like a little bit of wiggle room in the budget, I would say 20 is my absolute max. I'm not going over 20. I really would not like to go over 15. So that is the plan as of now. Yeah, so that's my budget. And I think that's very reasonable for 50 people. The problem is, which I will talk about this later, is actually finding the availability for such a small party. And I will explain why. Okay, so for this section, I want to talk about some of the issues I've had so far in my wedding planning journey, because has it been a journey? I kind of recruited my sister. I love her. She's the best. I have kind of recruited her to help me. She's actually done a very good job. She's helping out a lot. So the issues I have so far wedding planning is that everything is so expensive. So expensive. The wedding tax is real. I swear once you slap the word wedding to it, it's like way more expensive than it should be. It also, in my experience so far in like searching for venues, it seems like a lot of places don't want to accommodate a small wedding party. A lot of places they'll have like 100-person minimums, and it's like, I don't even think I know 100 people that I would invite. I really don't. Availability has also been a little bit of a struggle. I'm trying to plan a wedding for next fall, and in theory, that sounds really nice and doable, but there's also probably 100 other brides trying to plan a wedding at the same exact time. It's making things a little bit difficult to line up with our actual plans. I think once I kind of nail down a venue, I will kind of get more into the searching for the rest of the stuff I need, like a DJ. I did find a really cool DJ, but the problem is I don't really know exactly what date our wedding is going to be yet. And the longer it takes me to figure that out, the more booked he's going to get. So I'm working through that. The last one is just the work and energy this takes. Planning a wedding or just like a big event in general is so much harder than I thought it would be. I'm not one of those people who ever like dreamed about what her wedding day would look like either. So it's been a little bit of a struggle for me to pin down exactly what I want. There's just so much stuff that you have to think about, like the flowers, the DJ, the cake, the food, decorations, the bar, the venue. How many people are you inviting? Where are they all going to stay? Do they want to stay somewhere? Like transportation, the bachelorette party, the bachelor party. Who's going to be my wedding party? What are my bridesmaids going to wear? Like everything is just so much more than I thought it was going to be. So I want to dive a little bit into my possible plans. And I am not saying this because I want anyone's opinion. I do not. I do not want your opinion about what I am planning. Okay? Thanks. So we may actually have a venue lined up. As I'm just saying, I don't know, but this is literally a loose plan. And it might be too soon to even say that this is a plan, but I figured, I'm just going to share and be honest about my wedding planning experience. So I'm going to share what my possible plan might be as of right now. So this venue that we might have lined up covers everything except the alcohol and the DJ. It is a little bit out there from where we live, and I don't mean in terms of like distance, kind of. It's just like this venue's out in the middle of nowhere, essentially. My plan as of right now, if this venue works out, is when I send invitations, or I'll just like verbally ask people or text them after I send invitations, how many of them would want a hotel room. Then I can kind of reserve maybe like, I don't know, 5 to 10 hotel rooms in this hotel that is more closer to like our general location. And I want to maybe rent like a limo or a party bus. That way at the end of the night, when the night is over, we can just all get in this limo or this party bus and all go back to the same location to stay. That way nobody has to worry about driving themselves home or like their transportation at the end of the night. Obviously, if people want to just get Ubers home, that's fine too. But I figured this would just be another fun thing we could do at the end of the night. We could all just ride home together in a party bus or a limo. Party bus sounds pretty cool, but you know, I don't know. Party buses are fun, I guess. Yeah, this is just my thought as of right now. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen. I was like texting back and forth with my mom about it earlier today, and she kind of agreed that she thought this was a good idea. So thanks, Mom. I don't know if she's going to watch. She might watch this, but I think she watches a lot of my videos. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I'll be back to keep you guys updated more as wedding planning occurs. Thanks for listening to me spiral for about 20 minutes or so. Wedding planning is hard, and I know it's only going to get worse. So pray for me. And if you're planning a wedding right now, good luck. I also kind of would like, if you are married or you are planning a wedding, let me know what is your favorite thing that you've done at your wedding, or what is something you wish you would have known before. That way I can kind of file it away for later. Okay? Thanks. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.